is your name, please?
My name is Sisanga Fanene.
My name is Sisanga Fanene. My name is Sisanga Fanene.
Only one of these men is the real Sisanga Fanene. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Dina Merrill, Johnny Carson, and Kitty Carlisle on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much. Welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Salem Cigarettes. Hello again, panel.
Hello, Bud.
Will you open up your envelopes, take out your affidavit cards for the first time, and follow along, if you will, please, as I read from mine. I, Sisanga Fanene, am a professional fire and knife dancer. I was born and raised in Pongo Pongo in the Samoan Islands. My grandfather was the king of the islands, and my father was a tribal chief. I came to the United States this summer to appear in Guy Lombardo's production, Paradise Island at Jones Beach, New York. I do a traditional flaming knife dance and walk barefoot over burning coals. Signed, Sisanga Fanene. Well, panel, we have here three rather fleet-of-foot individuals, who each one claiming to be Sisanga Fanene, fire dancer extraordinary. We will begin this first round of questioning with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Mr. Fanene, number one, what is the capital of the Samoan Islands?
Apia.
Apia. Number two, would you spell Fanene, please?
Apia.
No, Fanene, your last name. Spell it.
F-A-N-E-N-E.
Thank you. Number three, did you learn to do this fire walk when you were very young?
Yes, ma'am.
Number one, are the boys taken away from home and put into a kind of tribal rite in order to teach you to do this?
No.
No. You learned on your own hook?
Yes.
On your own feet.
There's a hook dance also.
And number three, number two, when you do the drinking thing, the fire eating, is it eating? Do you eat the fire? Number two?
You never drink it.
You don't eat fire?
You don't eat fire.
No.
It's a fire dance, in case
It's a
you
fire
misunderstood.
dance.
Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Number three,
Oh, well.
what is your definition of a hot foot? It hurts. It hurts. Maybe, number one, do you know where the original Hawaiians came from?
I don't know.
Number two, where is Bora Bora?
I don't know.
Don't know where Bora Bora is? Number two, do you know what Ali'i Nui means?
Whom did you ask?
Number two, Ali'i Nui.
Ali sounds like something like chief.
Thank you. Number three, what keeps those knives from flying apart when they do that knife dance?
You have a hook at the end of the knife.
Thank you.
Dina?
Number three, what is a pariu?
Would you repeat that?
What is a pariu?
Pariu?
Yes.
Pariu.
I don't know.
Number one, do you know?
Oh, paruru.
Yeah, do I pronounce it wrong?
Paru?
I think you did.
What is it? Please tell me.
Paruru?
Well,
You know what a paruru
what's
is?
that?
I don't know.
What about you, number two?
That comes very close to
You
being the
don't know
best answer
Pariu.
I've ever heard. I think the bell rang, however. Johnny Carson.
I got a bell, I'm sorry.
Number one, are those your own teeth, or aren't you able to brush after every meal? Number two, your father is a tribal chieftain. Does he have a title? Did they just call your father chief?
Yes.
And then number three, would they call your father chief?
They call him talking chief.
Talkie chief. Uh-huh. Number one, what is the title that your father would hold?
He talks too much.
He does a funny tribal dance, too, number one.
And funny as it seems, it's time now to vote. So will you kindly get to the business of that right now, without any further discussion or questions and without consultation? Will you mark your ballots? Voting for number one, number 2, or number 3? As is our custom, of course, the team of challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Are we all set? Everybody voted? Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number 2 for purely technical reasons. Are we still on? Are we on? Okay. I voted for number 2 because he knew that Ali means a kind of chief, and the rest of the time I thought they were very good at answering the questions.
Dina, your vote.
I voted for number 2, too, Bud, because he seemed to know the least English of the other 2. The other 2 seemed to me to have been here quite a while.
Johnny.
Number 2 could be an agency man. I voted for number 1 because he got the best laugh in this round.
Kitty, which one did you take?
I voted for number 2 purely on the basis of his physical structure that I can see from the waist up here. He seems he does a very physical act, and I think he looks more muscular than the other 2. And he seemed to know what Tom asked him, which sounded like Samoan to me.
Oh, Tom, you have a good accent. Well, in any event, there we have it. Our votes are in, our minds are made up, and we'll find out in a moment whether or not we're right, whether or not we're wrong, as we discover which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real fire sword dancer. So, will the real Sisanga Fanene please stand up? Thank you, sir, very much. I'm going to ask Sisanga, if he will, to give us a sample of the traditional fire dance. Would you do that for us?
Yes.
All right. Well, if you like your Hawaiian well done, why, it was well done in more sense of the word than one, believe
Is it all
me.
out? Are you sure?
The flame on the sword is out. I don't know whether he is yet, but... Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Kalani Kamai, and I'm a judo instructor in New York City.
Judo instructor. That's why he gave such an intake of breath when you said they didn't look muscular. Number 3, your real name, sir, and what you really do.
My name is Jim Rivera. I'm a member of the U.S. Coast Guard, and I've never been to Samoa in my life.
Well, it was great. Fun having you here, and you did a beautiful job for us. Thank you very much, Sisanga. And also, in checking the score, of course, we find there were 3 correct, only 1 incorrect, for a total of $250 from Salem Cigarettes, but also a carton of Salem's for each of you. We thank you very much. Good night and good luck. I guess you could say that willow trees are sort of a symbol of springtime, and I particularly like these ancient ones we're about to see now. Panel, may I introduce our next team of challengers?
What is your name, please?
My name is David Long, and this is my twin brother, Jonathan Long.
My name is Bill Long, and this is my twin sister, Pam Long.
My name is Donna Long. My name is Bonnie Long.
All right, panel, once again, you've had a look. Will you now follow along with your copy of this affidavit? We, the Long twins, own and operate our own egg farm. We have more than 1,000 caged hens which produce some 45 dozen eggs each day. In addition to going to school, we personally feed the hens and gather, clean, and candle the eggs. We sell our entire output to local supermarkets. The money we make is going to pay for our education. signed the Long twins. Here we have three sets of utterly charming twins. As you can see, each pair claiming to be the Long twins, egg farmers, and we'll start this cross-examination with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. I have your names here on the bottom of the affidavit. Let me start with Bonnie Long. May we? Bonnie? Tell us, what is the difference between a brown egg and a white egg?
There is no difference.
May I ask your sister, Donna, if there is a difference customarily in price?
No, there isn't.
Thank you. Bill? Long?
Say number, the number two.
Number two
you will.
is Bill.
Yes, sir.
There is a chicken, a breed of chicken that has, it's barred. What kind of chicken is that?
Please, sir?
It's barred.
Barred
I don't know.
Double R-E-D.
I don't know.
Do you know Jonathan, number one?
No, I don't.
Bonnie, do you know?
No, I don't.
Dina?
Barred from what?
Barred from where? That's what I thought.
Number one, David. You're David. What kind of a chicken or a hen is a white hen? What kind of breed? Do you know?
It's a white leghorn.
Thank you. Jonathan, do these chickens live on wire or on the ground? Your
They
hens
live on
rather.
wire.
They live on wire.
Yes.
Number two, Pam. Why do you candle eggs?
We x-ray them. It's just like x-raying for defects such as blood spots or meat spots or for freshness.
Johnny?
Number one, David, how do you tell if an egg is fresh without breaking it?
Well, if you put it in water, and if the egg floats, it is fresh, and if it sinks to the bottom, it is not.
Son of a gun. Number three, girls, Bonnie, what's a grade A egg?
Beg your pardon?
What is a grade A egg in relation to another grade? A grade A.
Grade A rather than grade B. What is a grade A egg?
I don't know.
All right. Number one again, boys. What is the time from fertilization if you hatch the eggs? Number one.
But which boy?
Jonathan this time.
From 150 to 175 days after hatching.
No, I mean the time from the egg is laid to the time the chick would hatch if you let it, if you let the hen sit on it.
In other words, hatching time.
What is
3
it?
hours. 3 hours.
3 hours from the time it's laid?
Yes.
Oh, that's an instant hen.
Kitty?
Well, number two, Pam, what is the pip?
Pip?
Pip.
I don't know.
Your chickens don't ever get the pip?
No.
Number two, Bill, what do you lose most chickens to in terms of illness?
We don't have any illness. They're vaccinated before we get them, as we don't have any illness usually.
No illness
They'll
at
die
all in
of
your
old
chickens.
age or
They
things
die of old age, I see.
Every once in a while.
Number one, do you know what the pecking order is, David?
Yes.
What is it?
A little chick has an egg tooth on his beak, and it helps him to peck through the shell. And
I
the
see.
Egg tooth falls off.
Thank you.
That's about it. Once again, we've come to the end of our questioning period, and it's time to see the results on paper as you all mark your ballots. Will you do so now, please, without consultation? Voting for twins number one, twins number two, or twins number three. Everybody all set? All ballots marked? Okay. Tom, for whom this time?
Well, I voted for number three. They're such lovely, fresh-faced girls. They look like they might work on a farm. And there was a moment of real hilarity when Jonathan said that it took 3 hours for a chick to hatch after the egg was laid. And they did that so heartily that I felt they might have some other information.
Dina, your vote.
Well, I voted for number two again, Bud. I was leaning heavily towards number one, and then that 3-hour hatching, that seemed awfully fast to me. Number two is a very knowledgeable team.
Johnny.
Oh, I went for number two again. Well, I changed my mind a couple of times.
A moment of indecision there, yeah.
No, the 3 hours was a little fast for most hens, at least the hens that I am familiar with. So I went for number two.
All right, Kitty.
Well, I voted for number two. Number one, the twins number one nearly had me because they said very knowledgeably their hens were on wire, and I don't even know what that is. But number three also said that there was no difference between brown eggs and white eggs or grade A, and I felt that was a little bit wrong. And number 2 laughed when David said the pecking order had something to do with something on his beak, and I don't believe that's true. So I voted for number 2.
All right, there we have it. Once again, as we have made up our minds, and we come to the moment of finding out the truth. And here it is, as we see it, because this is the way it has to be, as we discover which set of twins are the real egg farmers. Will the real Long twins please stand up? We thank you and congratulate you on your business careers. Let's find out about the others now. Number 1, would you tell us your real names and what you really do?
My name is David Panzer. And my name is Jonathan Panzer, and we were both students at Walt Whitman Junior High School in Yonkers, New York.
Good for you. And pretty twins number 3, your real names and what you do.
My name is Donna McGregor. And my name is Bonnie McGregor. And we are both students at Holden School in Riverdale, New Jersey.
Pleasure. Well, we're working with a smart panel tonight, I'm afraid. 3 right guesses, meaning only 1 incorrect vote, for a total this time, as of the first time, $250. But we thank you very much and hope you had a pleasant evening with us. We sure enjoyed meeting all of you.
Where is their farm?
Where is your farm?
Jeffersontown, Kentucky.
Ah.
Hey, you go down there and
Too
get some
far
fresh
for the
eggs anytime you want. So, well, a happy pecking order to you all. Good night and good luck.
Thank you.
You know, lots of people can take horses or leave them. But when it comes to colts, well, that's a bit of a different story. Just watch these. Now it's time to meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Gordon Dunne.
My name is Gordon Dunne.
My name is Gordon Dunne.
Again, panel, will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit? I, Gordon Dunne, am a hurricane specialist for the United States Weather Bureau. In 1935, I helped set up the first specialized hurricane warning service, and I've been sent overseas to advise governments on improving their storm warning methods. My present job involves plotting the course of the storm and advising the public as to its intensity, its probable path, and what precautionary measures should be taken. I am the head of the National Hurricane Warning Center and Chief Hurricane Forecaster. Signed, Gordon Dunne. Again, we have 3 gentlemen, and you heard them, as did I, each claiming to be Gordon Dunne, hurricane specialist, and we will begin this round of questioning with Dina Merrill. Dina?
Mr. Dunn, number 3, where is headquarters for your hurricane charting service?
Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. Number 2, how do you chart a hurricane?
How do we chart?
How do you chart a hurricane?
Well, it first begins from reports at sea from ships. You know, they have instruments and whatnot. We then pick it up on a radar scope. Next, we send out planes, and they fly into the eye, send back the pressure, humidity, and whatnot, and from it, we can chart make our chart and predict the path of the hurricane.
Number 2, do hurricanes go counterclockwise or clockwise?
In the northern
number 1, I'm sorry. Number 1.
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise.
Johnny?
Number 3, what is an isobar?
An isobar is a given pressure on any 2 points.
All right, number 1, would you agree to that?
Yes.
Number 3, 2, do you agree to that?
It's like a contour, that's right.
All right, number 1, what is the difference between a hurricane and a cyclone?
Cyclone is a tornado.
It is. Number 2, what is the speed of a hurricane? I do not mean the winds within the eye, but the lateral movement of a hurricane.
It varies from 5 to 15 miles, depending on whether it be land or water it's moving over.
Kitty?
Well, I'm very grateful to meet you fellas because I live on an island 6 miles out to sea in the summertime, and your service is mighty important to us. So anything you can tell me here, I want to know. But I read in the paper the other day that they're going to seed hurricanes. Number 1, is this possible, to seed hurricanes through the funnel that causes the air pressure to come up?
Yes, it's possible to seed hurricanes.
Number 2, would this disperse them?
No.
Number 3, I'm sorry. Number 3, who names the hurricanes?
By the bureau chief.
Do you name them?
No.
Number 1, when you start warning your people, sometimes you overdo it because it goes on for so long. We get so excited where we live, we can't stand it. Why do you start so soon?
Well, we have to warn ships at sea, and we have to warn aviation interests and islands as well.
And what as well?
Islands.
I see. Thank you.
Even yours. Tom.
Thank you. Number 2, do you know when A.H. Truax was a member of the Weather Bureau?
The name, please?
Truax.
Yes, back in... No. It sounds like another name. I think there was a person sounding like that back in about 1938.
Well, thank you. Number 3, what is the difference between a hurricane and a cyclone?
Well, a hurricane...
You heard that question before at any time?
A hurricane is a large bass that moves over, generally starts over water. Cyclone is very narrow at the bottom and extends over, generally, over flat land.
Then that's literally a tornado, right?
Literally a tornado.
That's it. The wind's blown away the time we have, and it's time now for you to make the marks upon the ballot that will tell us how you feel as to which is which and who and why. So will you kindly mark your ballots, please, without consultation. Vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. Everybody ready already? No, not yet? All right. The real twister, huh? Tom, for whom did you vote?
I shouldn't tell you after that terrible play on words there, but I voted for number 3. Mr. Truax, some people have referred to him as a windy guy, but I don't think he was ever in the Weather Bureau. And number 1 was very good with the answers. In fact, they all were. Can I change my vote?
Too late now. Dina.
I seem to be going along with the 2s tonight. I voted for number 2, merely because he sounded terribly knowledgeable when he told me about charting those hurricanes. Not that the others didn't too, but 2.
Johnny, your ballot.
Number 3, only because of the isobar question. I didn't figure that would be asked tonight, and the gentleman knew what it was, so I'll go with number 3.
And Kitty?
Well, I voted for number 1. I hope I'm right. I hope he lets me know in time for the next hurricane. But I don't know whether a cyclone and a tornado are the same. He said they were, and if they're not, of course, it's not number 1. And number 2 had wonderful answers, but I don't know, number 1 looks like a kind of steady guy who could chart a hurricane.
All right, fair enough. We've come now to the eye of our own particular hurricane, which is the eye of truth in this case. And let's find out now which one of these gentlemen is the real hurricane forecaster. Will the real Gordon Dunne please stand up? That blew you out of that seat and blew your chair over wasn't charted, I'll say.
He's a competitor, Bud. He really plays the game.
He sure does. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Number 2, would you tell us your real name and what you really do?
My name is Jack Downing of Downing Company, Opticians in the Waldorf Astoria.
Opticians in the Waldorf Astoria. And we come now to Mr. Isobar himself, number 3. Your real name and what you do, please, sir.
My name is Anthony Story, and I'm president of Poland Springs Mineral Water, Poland Springs, Maine.
Well, let's see now. This time we really dispersed the votes, made it different from the other 2. There was only 1 incorrect the other time. This time we had 1, 2, 3 incorrect, $250 each for a grand total of you gentlemen from Salem Cigarettes of $750.
How do you know what an isobar was,
Bud? Willie. That's how he knew. Willy-nilly. And we thank you, gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed your visit with us. We certainly enjoyed having you here. Good night. Good luck to you, and a carton of Salem Cigarettes on the way out for each of you. Good night. Now here's how you can get fast relief of headache pain. So we have time for tonight, except I'd like to remind you that we live in a land of a special beauty, particular beauty, both man-made and natural, and it sometimes becomes a little less beautiful because of the littering instincts of some human beings. So try the best you can to keep that part in which you inhabit litter-free, won't you? It costs millions of dollars to clean up after you, so let's cut that expense as best we can. Next week, Susie Parker and Sam Levinson will be with us on our panel. And for those of you who are in the area, Dina Merrill is appearing next week at the Cape Playhouse in Dennis, Massachusetts. And let's see, Johnny, you're going to England? Well, you're all traveling. Everybody but me. I'm not traveling. Good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
It's Bud Collier saying good night to Salem Cigarettes and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
The name in our mailbox is Porter.
To our friends, we're Pete and Gladys.
And we're at home next on most of these stations.
Drop in.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you by Salem, the cigarette that refreshes your taste. Johnny Olson saying goodnight from To Tell the Truth. This program was pre-recorded.